I think Mary would look cute in a bikini.
Do you think Morrow would wear shorts, like surfboard shorts, or like Speedo?
Speedo.
The Speedo? You think Speedo?
Red Speedo. Like a black lacing.
Black lacing?
Or you can have one of those that have like the sock on the front so you can put your dick in the sock.
No!
Well, you can be like a little elephant trunk who's just like swinging from side to side. Like when you're doing your frosting people, you'll see it like floating.
I can picture it and I hate it. Welcome everybody to Tales Tomorrow. I'm Morrow and this is the top of Mary's head. I'm assuming Mary's preoccupied. Anyway, welcome everybody to the new year. It's the year of 2026. For the people watching the video, do you have any specific things you're looking forward to for this year? I personally look forward to things such as doing more horror stories, checking out more content, trying to do different content as is my little VTuber D&D-esque avatar. And Mary, do you have anything you look forward to for the start of this year?
You?
Mary, you're poking me with your horns right through my body.
Oh, sorry.
Ow.
I didn't mean to. Ooh,
anyway, well, I'm getting healed up and getting my puncture stitched up. Let's get some RPG horror stories started for today. Thank you. Thank you. Railroad and Creepy DM made us quit before session 1. This story happened to me earlier this year, but I thought I'd share it now. I was searching for a 5e game on D&D Discord, and I settled for one that didn't look great, but I thought I'd give it a chance. Something along the lines of looking for post old school fantasy group. I reached out to the poster and realized they didn't have a profile picture and a pretty generic name, but I gave it no real importance in the moment, and rather quickly I received a reply from an invite to a Discord server. Something that immediately stood out to me was the fact that I was invited by a burner account. It became readily apparent that when I looked at the server list, surprise surprise, there are 3 accounts with similar names, one with a PFP presumably of the DM, a 50-year-old looking guy in his car. Out of VC, and there he is, talking to one of the other players. So I joined and immediately his demeanor changed. He seemed to be talking with the other player, we'll call them Necromancer, about what magic items were available. It's quite convoluted. The DM begins spewing all these Sawani adjacent rules about masterwork weapons and the like, and I just don't understand, and neither does the Necromancer, but he settles for a fighter and I a wizard. All throughout the day, I check the server and find time and time again the DM making creepy comments towards Necromancer and his character. You know the kind. Thirsting over Necromancer's drow PC, making suggestive comments about her, all in public for the other players to see, and super weird because DM knew Necromancer clarified he was a guy IRL. I didn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but I was concerned for Necromancer. So, what we have here is a Gooner Brain DM that is thirsting after a character to the point where they're getting absurdly sexual in the public general chat of this little private Discord. Which, yeah, we can do whatever you want, your private Discords and stuff, that's completely fine. But he is obviously gonna make new players, especially new players to your specific group, feel uncomfortable. If I suddenly would join in a random group I didn't know Mary, and suddenly she was like, oh my god, the tiefling butt, give me that tiefling butt, give me them hot, I got the hots for tiefling butt, I would find it a little bit endearing, but also a little bit concerning if suddenly out of nowhere somebody's trying to creep up on my player character of all things, a fictional player character that is still being creeped on by the DM.
Gonna be real quick. I'm gonna take out my internet cable and put it back in.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull out real quick and I'm gonna...
Mary's pull-out game is
like
strong.
2 seconds.
Sounds good.
Does it work the other day? And I'm hoping it will. Ow.
Mary's pull-out game is very strong. Stronger than me.
Oh, it didn't kick me. My goodness, I'm here. I thought it was gonna disconnect me from VR chat since I pulled out the internet cable. But apparently
Your pull-out game is that strong. It just kept you in.
I was so quick with it.
She was so quick with it, guys.
Oh my god, you jealous?
Yes, I'm very jealous. Teach me about your pull-out game.
Oh, don't be. Anyway,
still, we have the story with a creepy DM that's creeping on someone's player character in the public general chat. Let's see how this continues. The day before the game comes, the DM decides he wants to run a one-shot for all of us. 4 players join in, a Sung Jinwoo XP Warlock, a Druid, a Necromancer, and I. We both roll up characters and get into the game. Wait, was Sung Jinwoo the, was that solo leveling? Is that who that character was? Sung Jinwoo, right? Was that his name?
I think so.
I don't know my names. I suck at remembering names and stuff, but I think that's what it was. Yeah, Sung Jinwoo. That sounds kind of accurate. Yeah, I think it was Soul Leveling guy. It was basically a nothing burger of a game. We have to get into a castle filled with deadly poison gas, and everything we try fails. Try to disintegrate the arcane force field. DM tells me the castle is too big and disintegrate won't work. Necromancer sends a skeleton to scout. He doesn't return. We ask Druid if he could tunnel under it and into the castle as a Jan Badger. DM tells us it will take a long time. This goes on for an hour until we decide to go around the castle and meet with our affiliates to the other side. We see the map and there's inconspicuous caravan on the road, but we ignore it. And after talking with our superior, he tells us we have to get inside somehow. So we devise a plan. I take out my broom of flying and we fly in. As we try to, DM says archers we hadn't seen pelt us with arrows. I fail my save and die immediately. And so does everyone else. DM says, "You guys get one redo if you want. I'm kind." Necromancer says he's fed up, doesn't want to play player versus DM, and leaves the server. DM blows up. "Oh, freaking do it then!" He yells as I excuse myself too. We didn't even play a single session of the game we came to actually play, and good riddance. Reach out to Necromancer after the fact and he tells me the stuff DM was saying toward his character was weird, especially after clarifying he was a guy. We still keep in touch. Why do all of that just to set up like a whole situation where players can't do nothing for a whole hour? If your players can't progress after an hour, I think it's something going on now with your players. I think it's because your session and whatever you're going on, whatever impasse you created needs to be a little bit more flexible. At the end of the day, you need to work with your players, not work against them. If you're working against them like this DM is doing here, just waiting to like a gotcha moment, or you fly, arrows pelt you and you die immediately. Or you try to bury, that will take too long, you can't do that. You send a scout, they don't come back, you don't learn anything. Anti-magic field, you can't do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. You have to just wait and do something so I can destroy your player character because I am the DM here. We're playing PvP, apparently. I don't know what the DM is thinking, honestly. What do you think, Mary? What do you make of this?
Stupid.
I get it if, let's say, for example, players are trying different things and maybe they're not thinking outside the box, but if it takes an hour for players to progress just at this little impasse, I think that's something about, it says more about your session and the way you design stuff and the way you're being inflexible versus what the players are doing. I mean, of course, yeah, sometimes you can get like moments where players are like, there's a door and they try to go anywhere but the door, you know, when clearly there's an unlocked door in front. And yes, those moments, silly moments can happen sometimes, but something so painful obvious is right in front of them, but they do everything but the painful obvious thing, and you just kind of entertain it for like 30 minutes or so. You know, we've had these sessions before, but if we players are genuinely trying to make an effort to progress and it's an hour of nothing, I think you need to redo how you want to handle your DMing in general. You need to rethink how you want to DM specifically. In this DM in particular, the way they're conducting, honestly, no D&D is better than bad D&D. You guys are saving yourself a favor. Is your shoulder hurting? Here, I'll work it out. I'll work on them kinks for you.
Sorry.
Anyway, let's get off to the next story for today. Oh man, I can feel you so crunchy, Mary. Here, let me get my elbow right in it. Yeah, you like that, huh? You like it when I work that huh? DM Ragequits and tries to sabotage players on the way out. Back in my earlier and messier TTRPG days, I was part of an online community that organized various World of Darkness Hunter campaigns. One day an ad was posted looking for players for a Hunter game set in Las Vegas, so I threw my application in and got accepted. This campaign consisted of 3 DMs and 10 players. I would later learn that having so many players and having more than one DM was, in fact, extremely unusual for a campaign. DMs were the following: Cece, Danny, and Caleb. I got a legitimate question. Was this like 3 DMs and 10 players in one session at the same time? Or was this like, you know, Cece would have some players on day 1, Caleb would have some players on day 2, and then Danny would have on day 3. Was that how it was? Or was it like all of you guys together at the same time? Because that sounds absurd. However, not impossible. If you play Final Fantasy XIV and you know what alliance raids are with like 24 players, if hypothetically you have 3 DMs handling maybe 4 players at a time in like a party of 12 in total, running 3 separate like little mini stories all at the same time on the same day, that could work. Mary, Mike, and I actually thought about doing something like that at some point. We've seen it done before in a similar way, a little bit sloppy for sure. It can definitely work. It'd be a little heavy, it'd be a little difficult, but with enough planning, enough organization, and enough good pacing and luck, that could potentially play off. I don't know. Maybe we'll record something like that in the future just to see if that can actually happen, you know? One of the first things that became apparent was a lack of cohesion and communication between the DMs. They seemed to be as much strangers to each other as they were to the players. There was a lack of direction for what the overarching plot of the campaign should have, and sometimes one of them would be MIA for scheduled session with no warning or explanation. Danny clearly had the least experience as a DM. He lacked confidence and was obviously nervous during his narration segments, but all the players were generally kind and patient with him, so this wasn't truly an issue. Caleb acted more like a seasoned DM, though his biggest shortcoming was his technological limitations. He didn't have his own PC or laptop, so he had to do everything through his phone, which limited his ability to look up the rules when a question came up in session. Often he would be DMing from his car in a parking lot or where he worked and would drop from session early when his phone battery died. CC was the only one who had the most friction with the players and the other DMs. In short, he was a chud. His first major argument with the player was that he casually dropped the elf slur, which he tripled down on defending his right to use it even after several players expressed discomfort with him using the word. Behind the scenes, he was having so many problems with getting along with his co-host that it got to the point where one of the admins of the World of Darkness group promoting the game had to step in and do mediation between all three DMs. I got a question. The person that is running the server that you guys are doing and playing on and stuff, what in the right mind told them this is a really good idea to put all three DMs in the same place together with 10 players? What in the right mind said, yeah, you know, 3 DMs in one kitchen, bunch of cooks just like tumbling all over each other trying to cook up something for the players? Man, that's a great idea. One DM, group of players, that's all you need. Too many cooks in the kitchen is a metaphor for a reason, and in this situation, it's very apparent. Also, don't have 10 players, have maybe at most 6, 5 preferably. 4 is the most optimal number so you can have proper attention for everybody. But this is just a place where there's too much friction because there's too many cooks in the kitchen, and you got one DM running one way, the other DM running the other way, third DM is being just an antagonistic nuisance for everybody else. It's a big clown fiesta, not in a good way. It's a big mess of a place. Also, 10 players. Mary, do you think you could handle 10 players?
No, I can hardly handle like 4. I like being very, not picky, but like I like being very focused storytelling, like very heavy stories. I like it when it's a small group because I feel like they can enjoy it more because there's less like chatter going like everyone can RP more too because there's less people talking over each other, which I like. Which is like I like joining like short groups as well because I feel like I can RP and like talk more because I'm too awkward to speak above someone. So yeah, I don't know. I like little group sessions.
I've handled 8 players on a couple of sessions, and let me tell you, it is an endurance test. It is an endurance test, and I do not recommend anybody do that regularly. I do that only once in a blue moon, once in every couple of months. I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's make the session go crazy. Let's have 8 players here. And yeah, it's extremely difficult to manage. The thing is about having a lot of players, it's not even just like the DMing side of things, it's about player management. You have to play basically this player management simulator to make sure that you jump in at every little opportunity and watching out for every player does, especially if you have players that like wander off somewhere on a side and suddenly trigger a combat encounter or open up a door that was supposed to be, you know, kind of seen together with the group. You know, it's like trying to catch a bunch of lemmings everywhere sometimes. It depends on the players, obviously. Some people can be very polite and like very cordial and stuff, and 8-player groups can work if people are polite, but like this is just a lot. It's just a lot to handle for a single DM. You got 3 DMs handling 10 players. This is a messy situation waiting to happen. One week during our scheduled session, all the players showed up, but the only DM present was Caleb. Caleb had no idea where CC and Danny were, so he didn't know what the plans were for the session. But since everyone else was present, he didn't want to let us down, so he went ahead with running something completely improvised. Generally, it was the most fun our group had during the whole campaign. We made sure to express our appreciation for his efforts to make the best out of an unideal situation. The following day, Caleb ran a solo session for a new player who was joining our party. In the middle of the solo session, CC suddenly made his appearance in our group chat's text. He gave no explanation for why he was missing the night before, instead jumping right into criticizing Caleb for not updating our campaign spreadsheet with the experience we should have earned for the previous session. Caleb had already made it clear that our group that updating a spreadsheet was a struggle for him on mobile, so we were fine not having XP awarded right away. CC then started ripping into Caleb for running a session instead of telling us that he'll be taking a break for the week, and multiple players were quick to come to Caleb's defense. When we asked CC why he didn't give any heads up that he couldn't attend session, his only answer was, "Excuse me for having a life outside of World of Darkness." We then started asking why he was upset, to which he went on a tirade about how he was pretty much the only one running the game, playing nanny for Danny because he can't run for crap, and Caleb because he can't run rules for crap, and you frickers have constantly bitched and moaned at me. I told him to go eat a Snickers bar, and then Cece proceeded to tell each of us to screw off, before saying, I'm washing my hands of the group because I ain't getting an ulcer from doing something that should be fun. Before leaving our group chat, he reminded me that he was the only one who created the Google spreadsheet that we use for tracking XP and character sheet, and to say goodbye to all of them. Fortunately, when it comes to Google Sheets, he given the option to make a copy of a document for up to 30 days after the original author deleted it. Multiple players were quick to create copies after CC deleted the sheet. World of Darkness community that promoted the campaign banned CC from DMing or joining any of the affiliate games after this outburst. Las Vegas Hunter game continued with a Caleb as solo DM, though we didn't get to see how it concluded, since I eventually bowed out from it due to college commitment. Still, a rather good ending to an RPG horror story. If you have to step away for a little bit and you don't update players about this sort of thing, or everybody else in your group that you need to step away for a little bit because you got life outside of like World of Darkness, I get it. Everybody has life outside of D&D or World of Darkness or whatever. You okay? You just skulking about? Okay, continue. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to be updating the rest of your group that that's what's going on, that's what's going to be happening, then you sort of making a problem for everybody else as well, because now suddenly everybody doesn't know what's going on. You have only a single DM that's there currently just handling everything. Nobody knows what's going on. Nothing was communicated, and now suddenly Caleb has to take over and muster everything together by themselves, which I mean, good kudos on Caleb for making it happen and making it work and stuff. But then Caesar comes in, act like a jerk and stuff. I'm running everything here. I have to manage Danny. I have to manage Caleb, when they can't do the one simple thing of saying, hey guys, I'm not gonna be here for today. I gotta take a break. I got something else coming up going on. It doesn't matter if you have a life. We all have lives. The least you could do is let somebody know what's up, what's going on, if you're gonna be there, if you're gonna be absent. If you could tell your players that you're gonna be absent, there's no problem with it whatsoever. But Cease's coming in here be like, oh, I'm doing all this, I'm doing all that, I'm hot shit here and there. Screw you guys are terrible, blah blah blah. I ain't getting heated from this whole thing, which is absurd. At the end of the day, CC, all you had to do is just tell your players, hey, I'm not gonna be there, I got something else coming up, and that's it. Nobody wants you to give up life for World of Darkness. I mean, I have my own life, Mary has her own life, everybody has their own life, our players have their own lives. We're not gonna be able to handle sessions all the time. We're not gonna be able to run. Some weeks happen where like there's no sessions because we're just really busy as heck. Like everybody has life, but the least you could do is like let the players know, communicate. Communication is very important. If you can communicate this kind of stuff, then you won't have any issues whatsoever. Anyway, CC is just a jerk, a big old jerk that's just trying to think of themselves higher than thou. A thorn in everyone's side in a sense, from what you can tell. From the way the story reads, it sounds like CC just doesn't get along with anybody and thinks of himself higher than thou. And that's the kind of person you probably don't want to be around with whatsoever, honestly. What are you thinking, Mary? What are your thoughts?
Milk.
Milk! Thank you, Mary, for your amazing, wonderful contribution. I greatly appreciate it. Anyway, guys, drink milk. Don't be like Cece. Drink yourself some milk.
Drink milk. Strong bones, big booba.
You know, sure. Drink milk, strong bones, big poopa. Why not?
Yeah, I think you need some.
Excuse me, my tiefling tits are nice and voluptuous. Thank you very much. I am petite.
Oh, look at the little boy. Oh my god, so petite.
I'm a petite tiefling. Don't you dare say anything otherwise. I'm petite and I am lovely. And that's a wrap. That's all the stories for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stories for today. Thanks so much to Mary for being our surprise host for today. Mary, do you have any other final words before the video ends to the people?
Keep cheese in your top drawer and eat it when you cry.
Hopefully you don't have to cry this year. I wish you guys nothing but smiles and everything. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye!